Hey everybody, I'm David Paul.
And I'm Chuck Camp.
It's good to be here another Friday night.
Weekend is upon us again.
This is our third show. It's flying by.
It does fly by.
First one aired a couple weeks ago, one Friday night, and the emails have grown. We got some emails. The first night wasn't, I only got a couple. You know, people accidentally found us, and just a few. Last Friday night, we got like 12 emails. That was great.
I'm happy with that.
And they weren't, I was happy. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get 112. You know, I'd like to get 212, but, you know, like 12 is not bad. One of them was just, I mean, it was bad, telling us how lame we were. And they were really, it was, I mean, I was glad to get the email. I'm glad you stopped long enough just to give an insulting letter. I mean, that kind of.
We're having growing pains.
We're having growing pains. But it was, and I appreciate the email. And you're more than welcome. I'm right now, in fact, I'm sitting up just like you watching this. And if you want to send an email, send it to David at davidpaulshow.com, and I'll respond. And any suggestions, and we are getting some suggestions, and Chuck and I are going to slowly implement them into the show, and we appreciate it.
You know, I have to set my clock to wake up to watch this. And I was thinking 30 years ago, I was out chasing women.
Chasing women, going to the bar. 30 years ago, was that disco?
30 years ago, let me see, it's 2016. No, that was 86.
Oh, God, yeah, disco was like 40 years ago.
Scary.
Did you have the jacket and all that stuff? And
I'm sad to say I did. I had the white suit.
Did you? I had the leisure suit. It's called the leisure suit.
Right.
Yeah, I had one too. It was embarrassing. But I did. I even had blue shoes.
No.
Yeah, I had blue shoes with the heel. They had the higher heels on them. I went out and did that.
Here's hoping he's got pictures he can bring one day and we can get them up.
Yeah, get them
up on the show.
I'll share. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I did the whole, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. The Bee Gees were big. I mean, the Bee Gees were big at the time. And what was the hot movie?
Oh, absolutely, Saturday Night Fever.
Very good. Yeah, Saturday Night Fever. Did that start it all, or would that have been?
I think it did. And the Bee Gees sort of just changed their game as far as music goes.
Because they were the soundtrack for Saturday Night Fever.
Right.
And then it just, bars started opening. They had, remember, the lit dance floors and all that stuff. And
you know what we should do? We should do Flashback Friday. You know how you have Throwback Thursday on Facebook?
Right.
We'll do Flashback Friday and get folks to send their pictures in, and we could show some pictures from the disco days and the 80s and the 90s, and how the hair and the wardrobe has changed through the years.
Where did you live back then?
Marietta. And you?
Was it pleasant? I was in Orlando.
Yeah, it was. Had a lot of great discotheques in the Atlanta area.
You liked Marietta?
I did.
Marietta's just so crowded now. It's just such a busy city. But some people, they couldn't, like, well, I'm up here in Cartersville, and it's very slow up here. It's just, you know, our busiest time you consider very slow anywhere around you. But where you're at, I don't know if you could adjust to this, because we don't have all the restaurants, and we don't have all the...
You have an Olive Garden in Cartersville?
No Olive Garden.
See, we have no Olive Garden in Paulding County either.
You know what, and whenever anybody's on Facebook and they're talking, they're always saying, we need an Olive Garden. You know, and how they chat, and they say, we need an Olive... For about 2 weeks you'd need it, and then you wouldn't go, then you wouldn't care. then you wouldn't care. I remember when Dunkin' Donuts came to town up here, and people were circled around the block. I mean, circled around the block first few days, and now there's nobody. You know.
Really?
Well, there's still people, but
people
it's no big deal at all now. We were talking about disco. What happened?
Went to donuts.
I got to tell you, I went out. Now this is a goofy clip. This is a. I can't relate to the people. I mean, today where young people, not all, this is all ages. Pokemon. Are you doing that?
No.
Do you understand it?
I have no idea.
Same here. But people right now are saying, hey, I do it, I love it, have a good time. And there's nothing wrong with you doing it, because families are going out. You're going out in... It's getting you out of the house. You're going places to do this, so there's nothing wrong with it. Because at the time when I was young, people were, what were we doing? We doing the paddle ball. Remember that, the paddle ball? Remember the ping pong?
Yes, the clackers.
They're illegal now.
Are they?
Well, yeah, you can't, because they might put out your eye. We didn't have as many laws when we were young. Okay, so Pokemon, I went out and they had this big old festival, this thing where everybody came together. And I don't get it, but the more people that show up, the more Pokemon stuff
It generates.
generates.
Really?
Yeah, so this just, you got to watch this clip. This is a girl, and I don't want to say anything negative, but just, she's going to try to explain it to you. Catonsville. I love Catonsville.
Yeah.
I love the cemetery.
So there's only like one Pokestop anywhere near my house, and it's like 2 miles
Okay.
from my house, and so I can never get any Pokeballs, and so I always waste them all because I never replenish them. And then yeah,
So you have to go there to replenish them.
yeah, like you have to go to all the Pokestops to replenish them, or you can buy them.
What's your level?
I'm 18.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because I ran into somebody who was really good a minute ago, and they were 11. I ran into somebody else that was 17. I ran into somebody up there that was
I don't
7.
play like a ton.
I don't know anything about the levels, but I just know 18 is one of the highest I've heard today.
The highest is 50. The cap is 50. So you can only get to level 50 right now.
You can only get to 50.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna.
What's the highest level you personally know of somebody around here?
30?
Oh, you know the 30?
Yeah.
How many hours a day do they spend doing this?
I don't know, but do you ever see that like article of that guy that walked over like 100 miles or something like that?
No.
And yeah, he's caught every single Pokemon in the game except for the ones. Apparently, there's a few that you can only catch in like certain countries. And he's trying to get someone to sponsor him to go to like Asia and the UK and stuff like that to catch the ones that are like local to the area.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, but other than that, apparently he's caught all of them that are in the game except for the 3 birds. You know, the Team Mystic, Valor, and Instinct.
No, I don't know any of these, but yeah, okay.
Well, there's 3 teams, and that's the Instinct guy that he was talking about, and there's Valor. No one likes Valor. Yeah, no one legit likes Valor. And then there's Mystic, and it's after the 3 legendary birds.
Yeah.
Zapdos.
Wow.
And there's 2 other, I can't think of them, but they're Electric, which is Team Instinct, Fire, Valor, Water, Mystic.
Chuck, after watching that, do you have any better understanding?
Dave, I'm more confused than before the clip.
I
What was that?
I have no clue. I can't explain. If you just heard that, makes absolutely no. But there are people, kids, they were excited. The parents were doing this. They had whole families out there doing this Pokemon thing.
Really?
Oh God, they've had Pokemon people girls running into police cars because they're driving and doing it. They've had Pokemon just appears in somebody's yard, and like their different locations, so people come in their yard trying
That could be dangerous.
to get out of my yard. Yeah, I don't like people coming in the yard. Do you like people coming in the yard?
No. Well, you never know these days.
I'm one of those grumpy people. Get out of the yard. What are you doing? You think do I come play in your yard? I hate to be like that. That comes with age.
It does. You become that old guy who gets to chase people out of your yard.
But you know what bugs me about people who walk their dogs. The dog goes to the bathroom in every yard but their own yard.
Why is that?
But that's the goal. Okay, come on, dog. Let's go for a walk. Let's go to Chuck's yard. Okay, Chuck's yard is the toilet. Let's go to Dave's yard. That's the toilet. Then they go back home. That doesn't bother you?
Fortunately, in my neighborhood, I do not have that problem.
Okay. Well, how do you cure it?
I don't know. If I had to deal with that, I don't know.
I'll tell you how to cure it.
Uh-oh.
Get a shovel. When the guy walks off, you get a shovel and you scoop it up and you follow him home. Then you throw it in his driveway. And you just give him a look. He just thinks, okay, this guy's crazy. He is crazy. That dog will never come back to your yard.
You're probably right.
This guy is nuts. He'll go inside, honey, this guy is nuts. We may have to move. But that's what you want to give the impression of.
Right.
This guy's over the edge. This guy is just any minute now. This guy, we're going to read about this guy, and I don't want to be the reason, but that's what you have to do.
Right.
So get a shovel, follow him home, throw it in the driveway, and just look at him. Stand there and just stare at him. Just give him the look. And then walk back home and laugh to yourself.
That's kind of creepy.
It is kind of creepy. But it works. I've done it. It's tested. It's proven.
Okay.
You wouldn't do that?
No, not today. I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. People are crazy today.
People put signs in your yard. It would bug me. Okay, you get up one morning, there's a realty sign in your yard pointing to a house 5 yards down. Does that bother you?
A realty?
Somebody puts a sign in your yard.
Oh, in your yard?
No, out in the corner. Out in the corner of your yard, they put a sign that says,
I see, directing them to another house.
5, and they plan to leave it there in your corner out there for 3 months till their house sells. How do you feel about that?
No, it would come up.
That's right, it would come up. Then they'll say to you, well, that's not your property. That property belongs to the county.
The right of way.
That belongs to the county. That belongs to you. How would you answer that?
I don't know.
Say, well, I have a used car. I'm going to come park in front of your yard. That's what I'm going to do. That's another one where you go out there, take the sign, throw it in the middle of the road, and then you just look at them.
I think Dave...
you just look at them. Then you have your hand in your pocket. They don't know what your hand... You know what I mean? You just look at them. They just look at you. They think this guy is crazy.
Dave's Book of Revenge is coming out in 2 weeks. Should be a bestseller.
It's not revenge. It's how to deal. First off, you're very rude and inconsiderate. If you're going to put a sign in the yard, you should ask.
How to deal with nasty neighbors.
You should ask to put the sign in your yard. You don't just put a sign. Then I got to mow around it. I got to move.
No. I see where you're coming from.
You ask. And they say, well, I have to ask the county. I'll go out there and just cut your sign up. Go out there, paint on the sign termites. Come for sale if you don't mind the termites.
Wow.
Huh?
Genius.
That's what I would do. I'm just telling you. You wouldn't. What would you? I mean, you wouldn't. You just say, okay, put a sign. Okay, put a sign in my yard. And that's what you do.
You know, I have a horrible fear of being locked up.
You're not going to get locked up.
Well, I don't know.
Now,
I'm not a confrontational guy.
If you run out of the house carrying a gun or something, police might talk to you. No, you just walk out and you just act like, oh my gosh, you've had a horrible couple of years and you're getting ready to explode. I guarantee that sign's gone.
Wow.
You got to learn how to deal with people. This is years of experience, people. Years. You didn't do that?
Wow.
People, we've got sponsors that make this show possible. That's right. We actually have sponsors. And are you putting the website up here on the screen,
It's
Chuck?
right there.
See the website? You'd like to be a sponsor? You'd like to be part of this? This show's moving, too. Also, good news. We're moving until Sunday morning at 8:30.
Gonna have a big audience there.
Big audience. We want to get the people before they go to church and before they watch the news shows. And I hope y'all will just, put it on your calendar if you care. If you don't care, I understand you don't care. But it's going to be full of useful information like you just heard, how to deal with signs and stuff. All right, let's take a break.
Hi, I'm Don Weathers with 24 Bail Bonds. We're located on Xena Drive, just right down from the jail. You can't miss me with this big bright yellow building and the red trim. And there's my phone number right there. Put it in your phone. Keep me on speed dial. You never know when you're going to need me. But I guarantee you when you do, I'm going to treat you like family, and we're going to get you out of jail no matter where you're at in the state of Georgia. We have several locations, so it doesn't matter what you're charged with or where you're at, we're going to come to your rescue. We're going to get you out of that old stinky jail. You call me 770-382-2424, and we'll be there when you need us.
Hello, this is Dean Lewis, Old Car City, USA, White, Georgia. We have photographers here from all over the world. We got them today from, I don't know where all. Every continent we believe has been here, and probably every state. We didn't keep up the states, we did the countries. We have them, had them this week from Germany, England, Norway, and maybe another or two, I can't remember, and then a lot of states. Come on up to Old Car City, USA.
Welcome back, everybody. Chuck, quiz real quick. Think of 3 famous people from the 1800s.
3 famous people from the 1800s.
When you say anybody at all, just 3 people known for living in the 1800s. Can you think of any? You're dragging it out. Think of
Daniel Boone.
Daniel Boone. Okay. Who else?
Thomas Jefferson. He had to be born in the 1800s.
Okay. Thomas Jefferson. Who else? What about Billy the Kid? Jesse,
Wyatt Earp,
Wyatt Earp.
Geronimo.
Crazy Horse. Talk to a Cherokee Indian. She's a grandmother now. She really is. You'll tell by her. She's very nice, named Linda. Authority on everything. She knows a little bit about everything up here in Cartersville. So I sat down with her, and we went out to the Cassville Cemetery, which is just, it's got like 500 unmarked graves from Civil War soldiers. And let's go to that. Hey, everybody, this is Linda Cochran. Hey, Linda.
Hi there. How's it going?
Linda is kind of what do you say? Expert or just historian? What are you?
I'm a Cartersvillian, is what I am.
Cartersvillian.
I was born and raised in Bartow County, and I do a lot of genealogy, but I like people.
Okay.
So I know I'm a people person, and I like to do information on people.
Now let me show everybody. These are these marked, unmarked? What are they?
They're unmarked. All that they've got is the Cassville, Georgia, and then the date of the Civil War on there, because they don't know when these young men.
These are all soldiers.
Yeah, Confederates.
Confederates.
They died in the hospital over here. The only house they left when they burnt Cassville down, and it's a tragic thing because most of the men were away fighting, and there was only women and children here. And when Sherman decided he was going to do his march, at first he was going to come through here, but then he took a little detour. And we all know about Allatoona Pass, so he had a lot to do with that too. But these men are heroes. They fought, and the reason they fought was for their families and for their land. These were mostly farmers and tradesmen and people that were just everyday people like me and you, that lived here. And they were all fighting, and mostly all that was left was the women and children here. And so when the Yankees came in, they just destroyed the whole town. Cassville at that time was very prominent. It had been a Cherokee, before that it had been the Cherokee Nation. And they had a court here, and they had different, I guess you'd call governmental.
Who did, the Cherokee or?
The Cherokees,
The Cherokee Indians, right here.
They sure did. That was before the removal.
Right here in Bartow County.
Right here, it certainly
Now,
was.
Cassville, what was going on in Cassville before the Civil War?
Before the Civil War, the Cassville, it was a big town. It was the mainstay, I guess, of Bartow County. Of course, it was called Cassville at that time. And the people that lived here, I couldn't tell you how many they were, but the ones that lived here, they were just families, large families. During our reenactment that we do every year at the burning of Cassville in October, I portray Ms. Milholland, and her husband was he was a law clerk at the courthouse down here. And the thing about it was, he decided he wanted to be a lawyer, and he was working towards that. But when the war broke out, he joined. And Ms. Milholland, one of her quotes was, "I had never had hard feelings towards John until he joined." And she was pregnant when he joined with their 5th child. And he sent her a picture from Atlanta with his uniform on, and he to be a very prominent soldier, but he got killed. So when they brought, and this was before the end of the war, so when they brought his body back, they buried him on the other end over here. And when they buried him, and the soldiers and everything come in, they dug up his grave thinking he had a gun or medals or gold or something, because back then they would hide their stuff by burying it to keep the Yankees from getting it. And so she had covered his grave with slabs so that when, you know, that the water and everything wouldn't wash the body and everything away. Of course, this was before we had the caskets and things like that.
Yeah,
that,
right.
Vaults. So her home was down here close to the corner, close to the courthouse. So what she did was, when they burned her home, they killed her hog. She had no food for her children. Her oldest child was, I think he was 14, and they called him Bud. Well, they didn't have any place to go, so they came to the cemetery. She took an old quilt, made a lean-to over his grave, and those children slept in that lean-to. Now, we're talking about October, November. We're talking about cold, wet weather is what we're talking about. And we think homeless people have it hard, you know.
Sure.
But that's just basically what everybody up here was, homeless. The Yankees come by in a wagon, and they were going to take the women and children up north. And she pulled out a pistol out of her apron pocket. She said, "You better get out of here." She said, "I've got a gun, I know how to use it, and I ain't afraid of no Yankees." She said, "I was born here, I'm going to die here. I'm going to raise my children here." And they left, and she stayed. And she did. She raised her children here. And they all became very important. One of them was a tax collector. I was trying to think. One of them owned a general store. They, you know, they became prominent people.
Sure.
From what she taught them, you know, raising them up. And Bud had gone off up towards Pine Log trying to find him a place to live, and he found an old Indian cabin up there. Well, even though he was just a child, what they were doing, they would shoot him as bushwhackers, and she was worried to death that Bud would get shot as a bushwhacker. They hung a boy who was probably younger than Bud from the courthouse steps, or the courthouse over here, because they thought he was a bushwhacker, and he probably was. Knowing back then how they did.
What's a bushwhacker?
Bushwhacker, you hide in the woods, and you wait till them Yankees come by.
Ooh.
Then you level your gun, which was probably a 22 or something. You got to be a good shot with that. And he would they'd kill him, you know. But they'd wait till they got close enough, you know, see the whites of their eyes.
Yeah. Everybody, this is Linda Cochran. Kind of knows a little bit about everything up here in Cassville. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, I'm Tim. Welcome to Treasure Chest Outlet, located in Cartersville, Georgia. Come on in, let me show you around, show you what we have. We have area rugs starting at $79. We have sofas, recliners. Recliners start at $249. We have dining room tables. We have a lot of used furniture that we take in on consignment. Come on in and check us out. We have statuary for your yard. We have a huge selection of that. Come in, you may find a bird bath that you want to take home. Cartersville, Georgia. Come visit us. Check us out on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Don Weathers from 24 Bell Bond. We're located on Xena Drive, just right down from the jail. You can't miss me with this big bright yellow building and the red trim. And there's my phone number right there. Put it in your phone. Keep me on speed dial. You never know when you're gonna need me. But I guarantee you when you do, I'm gonna treat you like family, and we're gonna get you out of jail no matter where you're at in the state of Georgia. We have several locations, so it doesn't matter what you're charged with or where you're at, we're gonna come to your rescue. We're gonna get you out of that old stinky jail. You call me 770-382-2424, and we'll be there when you need us.
We have one more Friday night. Next Friday night will be our last Friday night.
Right.
Kind of sad about that.
I've got mixed. I'm excited about Sunday mornings.
We just think a lot more people are going to be on Sunday morning. A lot more people are off work. They're scanning the channels. They're getting ready to go to church. Some aren't going to church. Some are getting ready to watch all the news shows that start at 9. Some are going to watch some Christian shows, some church shows. We just think a lot of people are going to be out there on Sunday morning. That's why we're moving to Sunday morning. We could be wrong.
Now, I think we'll have a larger audience.
You think we'll have a larger audience?
I do.
I think we'll have I think we'll have a large audience too. I do too. So I'm kind of excited about going to Sunday morning. But I like midnight. I do like midnight on Friday. I do.
You know, Sunday mornings, I think we have to cater to a different kind of people than we would on Friday nights.
Yes, we do. Like right now, who cares? We can do whatever we want to do. Like what we were just talking about signs in people's yards. I probably wouldn't do that on a Sunday morning.
Right.
I wouldn't talk about following somebody home with a shovel of their dog stuff. I wouldn't talk about that on a Sunday morning. I would not.
Right.
I wouldn't. I'll talk about it on a Friday night, but I'm not going to talk about it on a Sunday morning. We got to be proper on Sunday morning.
Politically correct.
We might have to dress better.
We might. Stress.
If you want more information, go to the website. Here's the website. You put the website up here right now, Chuck? Chuck's in charge of all this website. Everybody can see the website?
Absolutely.
All right, we got to go.
Good night.
Good night.